Definitely me being able to play defense and offense, and not many people go from D-line to running the ball. So I know they do the Travis Hunter thing, and I'm not going to compare myself to him because he's a hell of an athlete. But, I'm just thankful of God, thankful of Kiffin for allowing me to play both of those positions.
Have you met with the Steelers? What was your impression if you did?
I haven't met with them formal, but I have informal, and I love them. They're just the way they play their fronts and things like that. They mix up their fronts a lot.
Who did you talk to in the informal meeting with them?
A couple of D-line coaches and assistant D-line coach, and we just talk ball and they wanted to know about me and family and stuff like that.
Seems like every time you turn around, there's an Ole Miss defensive lineman here. What was that group like? What made you guys so special?
It was a group that obviously came from the transfer portal for sure. But when they got there, it was strictly about ball. Presley, Jared Ivey, Walter Nolan, big names in this draft, and it was the best thing to be around them and learn from them and get to pick their brains. And we led a couple of things: sacks, tackles for loss, and pressures. As a D lineman, we took that with pride, and definitely our D-line coach. So we definitely want to thank him for all the things he's done for us, Coach Randall Joyner, for sure.
You also led the nation in yards per carry allowed. Just kind of what was the mindset or your approach in stuffing the run?
It was to get to pass. You make your money on third down, so you got to stuff the run. So we was just big on that. Just getting up the field, getting tackled for losses, penetration in the backfield, and making them pass.
And what's your approach or how you feel about handling double teams as a one technique?
Yes, sir.
When you did that a fair something.
Yes, sir. Definitely. Just the double teams, if the back's towards you and things like that. Like I said, I play offense, so you can anticipate getting the double teams. You'll probably tighten down just to be thicker on the guard, so the tackle, and you want to get penetration and knock back on the guard, so the tackle has to climb up to the backer, so it won't be on you as long.
Did you do any running in high school as a senior? Any goal line or short yardage running?
I was offense all high school.
I know, but you played tight end. But did you do any carrying?
Yes, sir. I did Wildcat. I played running back, receiver, quarterback, all of it.
So when Gus Malzahn had you do that at Auburn, he had watched you in high school and knew you could do that.
Yes, sir.
Right. So then you go to Lane, and Lane said, "Well, we saw you do it at Auburn, so it's easy." Right?
Yes, sir.
What's Jackson Dart like in the huddle?
Oh, that's my guy. He's different outside of football, but when it's football, he got that little, the Darth Vader or whatever's going on and he just locked in. He's a different character. He's always locked in, always talking about ball. I love him to death. That's one person on the team that I'll ride with and bring with me no matter what, just because I know what I'm gonna get out of him. I know he's gonna give his all, and that's a guy that we named as captain, me as well, but that's somebody I'll bring with me for sure.
When people watch your tape, what's the biggest strength that you see? When people watch you on tape, what's the biggest strength that you think speaks about your game?
Definitely just me being versatile, me being able to move. They usually Ole Miss like to put me as a zero to be able to move against centers. They say they're probably the worst players on the field, but just me being able to go lateral, vertical, and gain penetration.
So you may have answered this, I'm sorry, on your first question, but when you switched to defensive line, what was the conversation with the Auburn coaches? They said, we have a need here, or did they say, you're best here? How did that conversation go?
So they fired Coach Malzahn my first year, and we brought in Brian Harsin from Boise State, and he had called me, and it was after spring going into fall camp, and I did spring as tight end, and we only had 5 D linemen on roster, and he was like, hey, we would want you to go through fall camp as D-line and tight end a little bit just to, get my feet wet or anything like that. And since then, I talked to my parents, and they was like, just try it out, see how it is. And that's when Nick Eason, he came there, and I know he coached in the league for a lot and played in the league. So I just put my faith into him, and he poured it into me.
So did you like it right away?
No. It was definitely difficult, just because, like I said, I was young. I wanted to play. I felt like I had a purpose on the field and I can make a big impact. And I didn't play a couple of games just because I was new to it. I didn't understand it, didn't know the defense. So it definitely was, I was bitter at first, but I just opened my eyes and was like, this is an opportunity for me to grow as not only a football player, but as a man. So I feel like throughout that progress and time of me learning the defense, learning how to play D-line, I definitely grow within it.
And in the end, really, your body type is more perfect for this.
Yes,
right?
sir.
I mean, it was a great, in the
Yes,
end.
sir.
Yeah.
For sure. And
So
that's
people talk about how going from offense to defense, they can learn, they know things from offense that help them on defense.
Mhm.
What about when you went back and started carrying the ball? Anything that you learned from defense or attacking that helped you on offense?
Definitely. When they play like a 4-eye-0, 4-eye, and there's a bunch, I know they gotta. That's why I usually, if you see most of the tape, I hit the outside just because I know it's gonna be a DB or a safety, and they don't want to tackle. Definitely not me, a 320-pound guy coming to them. So just those small things that help me out, and I sometimes call a play to run maybe against a smaller DB or anything like that. So those things definitely helped out.
You think your versatility?
I did keep an eye on Cedric. Me and Cedric were actually roommates back at Ole Miss, and love Cedric to death. I think he's doing a great job in Cincinnati, and actually seen when he got his first sack. But he's been talking to me and just like, man, just trust in the process. It's going to be a lot of cameras on you. It's going to be a lot of people that's telling you the right or wrong things. But Cedric did it right, and I'm going to follow behind him for sure.
What do you think about his game?
His finesse, he's a great pass rusher. He'll strike a block when he needs to, but I just love the way he rushed. He was a really good finesse pass rusher.
2 more, guys.
Yes, sir.
You think your versatility, offense and defense, can be a separator for you for, maybe moving up draft boards and just giving teams different options?
Yes, sir. Just being able to show that off, and I feel like I did this year and other years coming up. But like I said, it's not too many that do what I do. Definitely going from D-line to playing offense and actually running the ball. But it definitely helped out a lot.
JJ, you mentioned
he told you trust the process. What have you learned about yourself throughout this whole process?
Just to stay faithful, be who I am, don't be anybody else, and just keep the main thing, and be where your feet are.
Thanks, guys.
Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
Thanks, JJ.